Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Copper Jacket TV. So I recently got a question from one of my subscribers asking what is going on with the open carry case in the state of California. The case is Baird v. Bonta. It's been going on for a long time now. As a matter of fact, nearly half a decade. This open carry case is challenging California's ban on open carry, saying that the ban is outright unconstitutional. A district court judge who didn't even look at text, history, or tradition decided that she was going to deny the plaintiffs an injunction in this case, and so it went up to the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. The Ninth Circuit basically told the district court judge that you didn't follow the proper procedures here, you didn't do things the right way, and so they reversed that decision, denying the injunction, and remanded it back down to her. And so we were all kind of waiting to see what the judge would do, what the Ninth Circuit would do, and what's going on with open carry, because post-Bruin especially, it's very clear that it violates the Second Amendment, and therefore people should be able to have open carry in that state. Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today, because there has been some movement in that case, Baird v. Bonta. So let's get to it. Now, before we get started, I want to talk about today's sponsor, which is Delete Me, an amazing service that allows you to get your online privacy back. Believe it or not, there are data brokerage sites out there whose sole mission is to gather and sell your personal data. So what is Delete Me and how does it help? Well, Delete Me is a company that cares about your personal privacy. And so what they will do is collect your information and then search those data brokerage sites and remove your personal identifying information from them. Now, I personally have a Delete Me account, and in just the first week alone, they've already removed my information from 15 sites. Your dashboard gives you all of the information that you're going to need in order to control your online privacy. For instance, some of the data you can find on your dashboard are listings reviewed. In my case, there was 8,881, and the type of exposed data that they found. So if your online data privacy is important to you, join Delete Me. Use the link down below to save 20% or use the discount code COPPERJACKET. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about Baird v. Bonta and where it stands as of right now, because even if open carry is not an option that you choose to exercise, it's still an option that you should have. The Supreme Court said in Bruin that we have a right to bear arms. And so in California, with it being so difficult to actually get a permit for concealed, then open carry should be an option that people should have if they A, can't afford to get a permit, B, don't want to wait the extraordinarily long times that it's actually taken to get the permit, and maybe don't want to even go through the entire process. They just choose that open carry is their option. They should be able to have that, right? Well, the judge in her original decision, she didn't look at text, history, and tradition, like the Bruin standard says that you have to do. The judge used the two-step approach. Didn't even look at the context of the Second Amendment pretty much whatsoever in her original decision. So the Ninth Circuit said, no, you have to go through the process the right way. They didn't tell her that you got it wrong. They didn't tell her that you should come up with a pro-plaintiff decision in this case. They basically just told her to do it again using Bruin. Well, the judge decided to do it, but the activism was on full display. Now, the judge came out with her second decision in this case in late December of 2023. As a matter of fact, it was December 29th of 2023. The judge ended up, in this case, we'll just skip to the end here. The judge ended up siding with the state of California once again. Now, why did she do that? I mean, post-Bruin, it's very clear to see that it should be considered legal. Well, in her analysis in this case, basically what she's saying is that in some counties in the state of California, where there are less than 200,000 people, you can open carry without a permit. In other counties, you can open carry while in the process of hunting, or you can conceal carry by just getting a permit. So she's saying that the state still allows people to carry as long as you go through their steps and their processes and you get a permit. And since they allow you to carry in some form or fashion, this doesn't necessarily implicate the Second Amendment, and it doesn't violate people's Second Amendment rights, because it's just one option that they've basically taken off of the table. You can still open carry and conceal carry as long as you have permission from the government to do so, and therefore she's going to side with the government. She's going to grant their summary judgment and deny the summary judgment for the plaintiffs in this case, and say that banning open carry is perfectly fine. It's 100% constitutional. Now, it's clear to me that the judge in this case was doing absolutely everything possible to side with the state of California in this case. The judge basically connected whatever dots possible to make California's argument valid, even taking into account California's historical analogs. So the historical analogs that California provided, saying that they show proof that there is a long-standing history and tradition of these types of regulations in the country, and therefore that proves even further that California's regulation banning open carry should be allowed to remain in existence, which has been completely crazy to me because they really didn't have any relevance to this case whatsoever, but the judge decided to use them anyway. I don't even think they're from the time frame that Bruin provides, which is from the ratification of the Second Amendment in 1791 to, let's say, 1868 in the Reconstruction era. These are 20th century, a lot of these. So regardless, the judge connected the dots, decided to side with the state of California and say that open carry should be allowed to stand, and so granted summary judgment in favor of the state of California. Now, obviously, we all know that to be wrong. The judge may have gone back and tried to use some type of Bruin analysis when coming up with that decision, which is about 70 pages. But if doing it wrong is doing it wrong regardless. So it has since been appealed back up to a 3-judge panel of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. So again, this case continues to go on for as long as it has, but it's back up to the Ninth Circuit now. The appeal was just filed weeks ago, so last month in February of 2024, and that's where it currently sits, waiting for a decision from a 3-judge panel of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. I still think that we are going to win this case. Whether or not it ends up at the Supreme Court, I'm not sure. But I believe that we'll probably get a win at the 3-judge panel level, and then it'll go en banc at the Ninth Circuit. En banc's probably not going to side with us because just looking at the history of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, they do everything in their power to side with the state of California as well. I mean, we could just take a look at Duncan. We could take a look at Miller in order to see that, but they'll side with the state of California, and then I think it'll be appealed up to the Supreme Court. But as it stands right now, it is still banned in the state of California. It's still nearly impossible to get a concealed permit in the state of California, but open carry is going to remain banned until this case is settled. So we're looking for an injunction from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, or a summary judgment in this case for the side of the plaintiffs. But again, it's the Ninth Circuit. What can you expect from the Ninth Circuit? So that's where it currently sits. Open carry is still a no-go in the state of California, thanks to an activist judge, and we're waiting on the Ninth Circuit to side with the state of California as well. I know I'm being a little bit pessimistic here, but I mean, that's just the history of the Ninth Circuit itself. So I wanted to make you guys aware that's what's going on with Baird v. Bonta right now. That's where it sits as of this moment. So I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if there's any more updates in this case, I will let you know about them as soon as I can. Thanks again. Have a good one.